But once you're in, you're caged. I'm not letting you go. You're gonna stay there. Like, I could be treating you like shit. I don't treat people like shit, by the way. No, this is just like...
Not enough words. Everyone has an opinion. Here's ours.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Not Enough Words
podcast.
So yeah, Precious, it's been a very, like the week has been so hectic. Mm-hmm. Going back to the elections, you know how it all went. Yeah, and the weather right now. I don't know if it's because of the way the election went, but like, what are your thoughts on this past election?
So for me, that election week, I was weak. Literally.
Okay.
Like, I was weak. I couldn't get myself to work.
Yeah.
I wasn't productive because for some reason, the announcement took a couple of days. It was announced on Wednesday morning by 4 a.m.
Yeah. And
I tried my best to be optimistic, but I'm not going to lie. I had it at the back of my mind that the results that were announced were what was going to be announced.
Okay.
And it feels like, I'm not trying to speak for a lot of Nigerians, but it feels like a lot of other Nigerians felt that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like for a government who says that they want to come into power and, you know, change things, be what Nigeria needs right now, the way to go or the way to start is not through rigging. Because I say this with so much effrontery because I followed the elections this year like my life depends on it.
I think everyone,
honestly,
youth most especially, because this is our life we're talking about.
Of course.
It's our future.
Yeah.
And if we don't stand up now, when do you want to stand up? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's why it's this way. I was so involved. I was so invested in these elections, to be honest. And as you said, we saw it coming, but for some reason, I thought it was going to be impossible to do it because it was so clear based on what we saw.
Yeah.
You know, at the polling units, online, Twitter was on fire. People were posting, you know, with the LOP, like all that crazy stuff. So we had this expectation.
Yeah.
But then again, we know where we are. It's lawless to a fault. We know like the structure is not, we're fighting for a better structure with okay, so let's not go deep into that. But we're fighting for a better structure. And as you said, like, if you want to rule a country, you have to be credible. And this is not a way to go about it. It was so obvious.
Yeah.
And as it is, we're still hoping for the best, you know?
And the worst case is, I saw an interview where the INEC chairman said, it was a BBC interview. Okay. And he sounded so convinced, we're ready to electronically, exactly, beavers. We're ready to electronically transmit, you know, the election results. And he was sounding so sure. I mean, you had 4 years. You had how many years to prepare for the election? But still, it was the same story.
Yes. Because there was an article from last year that said they were prepared. They've done like tests and they know like it's going to work, blah, blah, blah. And elections came. And you're saying, it didn't work because hackers from where started hacking. What shit, man?
My expectation of the beavers was, okay, this is going to be a case where we, you know, the INEC personnel, the INEC staff would upload these things. Okay, we have gadgets, phones, tabs, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Upload it in such a way that, okay, if I go to the INEC website, I can see real time. Okay, real time. But then, they were taking pictures of these sheets and uploading.
Let's not even go there. Did you see the budget? Did you see INEC's budget?
God. Look, let's not even go into budgets because I saw the budget for the census and I'm just like...
I'm like, materials. What?
Don't count us.
What?
I just feel like...
You see carried plastic this in containers that you're calling... Yeah. Is that what...
I feel like it's a shame. Right from when I was a kid, I keep hearing, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. And, you know... But as the years pass by, it feels like we're no more giants. It feels like we're becoming dwarfs because it's not giving what it's supposed to give.
Yeah.
I feel like talking about this now is taking me back to the election week, and I'm beginning to feel like I won't say hopeless because I still have hope that
you just have to.
Yeah, that something positive, wherever it's going to come from, might still happen.
Yeah.
Whether, okay, this government is forced down our throats, but there will be some form of change. There will be some form of whatever it is. I just want to remain optimistic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As you should.
Honestly, so this whole week we have spoken about the elections, right?
Right.
How have you found this whole cash situation?
It's crazy because we heard that, okay, after the elections it will be different.
Yeah.
There'll be like this free flow of cash, but it's as bad as it was last week.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had 200 naira in my wallet. And you know how electronically, most of these people are not, they're not savvy. They don't know how to use these things. So you go to buy something and they'll say, no, I don't receive transfer.
Exactly.
I don't accept
because
transfers.
they need the cash.
They need the cash. But then, like, I think the system needs to be better because their countries are way ahead of us. That aren't even as, you know, as they say, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. There are countries, other African countries, that take Ghana, for instance.
Yeah.
So they have this mobile money thing. Like if you go to a kiosk, no matter where it is that you go to buy stuff, you'll be able to pay using that mobile money. And it's linked to like the mobile networks. And it works very, very well. It's very conducive. You use it to pay for taxi, easy to buy things from mall, from a kiosk. It doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
So if they can use that and they don't even, like, if they can use that up to someone that doesn't speak English, why then can't we adopt that?
You know, I feel like our leaders, when they make certain policies, they do not consider everyone. Because in Nigeria right now, there's a large fraction of people that, like you said, that are not savvy electronically. So if I want to enter a keke, will I tell the keke man, oh, I'm going to do a transfer of 100 naira to you? It doesn't make any sense. If I want to buy plantain from a woman in the market, will I tell her, oh, ma, how much is this bunch? Okay, waiting be your account, make I send them to you. No, it's not going to work like that.
So then, you know, cut you short, because if you want to make it work, it will work.
That's the thing. Before they make the policies, they don't put these things in place to make it work. I don't
think it to benefit them. That's why they've not even, because you know the way it is now. The government is, they only do the things that benefit them.
Exactly.
So I think that's the main reason. That's the major reason why that sort of stuff is not in existence yet here. Like, people do it, but it has to be. They feel like transfers are for high-end stores. Yeah, and that doesn't make sense. Because you even go to, there's certain places that there's some stores you go to and they tell you they don't even accept transfers. You don't have your card, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm not against cashless policy. Like, I see the good in it. You know, trying to curb corruption in terms of, you know, like high-profile individuals in the country, you know, stashing cash and just using it for whatever. I see the good in it. But then before you do something, you have to consider everybody. If not everybody, a large amount of the population. What, 200 million people, God damn it, in this country.
Yes.
And not even up to half of that number have, okay, yes, considering their children, but then the adults, not half of that number have bank accounts to even start with. There are still some people who, like in this day and age, do not have bank accounts. So how do you want those people to fare? I went to the market recently, and you know, in the markets, like a lot of people were like, they wanted cash because cash is scarce, and I prefer to have cash, you know, as my payment. And this woman, she runs a POS in the market. She was selling, or I wanted to withdraw, I think 5K. Yeah. And she told me 5K was 2,000 naira. I'm like, my sister.
Seriously?
My sister. If 5K is 2,000 naira, I might as well just, you know, send the 5K to you and then go. Let me just give you the whole money. Because, okay, fine. There's some people that, you know, okay, it's just 2K. Let me just, you know, for the stress. Mm-hmm. But then there's this other group that taking 2,000 naira from that 5,000 naira is a lot. If you go to the market and then you spend 5,000 naira on something, you won't, sometimes coming back home, the nylon that you're going to carry won't even be up to like the size of the mic.
True.
But it's worth that amount of money. And you have, See, if we're talking about Nigeria situation, my heart just they beats fast. My heart just pain me.
Not be only you. Wallahi. Not be only you.
So, on a, would I say brighter note, on a happier note.
Before we go there.
Yeah.
Because I think I know where you're going to.
Yeah.
But before we go there.
Yeah.
The weather, how you see the weather these days?
My God. See, okay, so I was on Twitter the other day and I saw that some people were complaining about how hot the weather has become. It's nationwide. Right, and some people were like, I feel like it's because of the elections that we had.
But what do you think?
And it's not far from the truth, if you ask me.
It's not. It's
not far from the truth.
Yeah.
It's not far from the truth. Although it rained on the election day, and here in Abuja we've been seeing...
the heat surplus.
It has rained like 3 times now.
Yes, it rained.
But the heat doesn't want to budge. It's still hot. And guess what?
What?
All of a sudden, AEDC is beginning to move a certain type of way. It's hot.
You know that they use rain as an excuse not to give people lights.
Of course now.
And I saw online, this funny tweet today where the guy was like, 9,000, he wrote his account number, then he wrote 95 and tagged AEDC. They were like, he should please spell out his complaint or something. He now said that's the amount he bought the meat. That he bought meat 3 days ago.
Wow.
And he has not had lights and the meat is bad, so they have to pay him back.
It's really crazy. Frustrating. You know how certain things that Nigerians experience, it looks like a small thing, but the ripple effects from just that small thing is crazy. If you were not Nigerian, we're having this conversation before we started recording, right? So you said like you don't know how you ended up in this country. So let's talk about that. So so you know that you're not supposed to be from this country. What country do you think you're supposed to be from?
I'll just be like every other person. You know the leading country in the world.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm meant to be from the United States of A. Yes,
okay.
I feel like that's where I'm meant to be from. I feel like that's where I'm from.
I'll say I feel like I'm supposed to be from Iceland.
Why?
Because there was one time I was reading about the country. I came across it randomly, and then they were talking about how they don't have, was it military or police presence? It's been a long time. I really can't remember. But they don't really have crimes there. It's just good vibes.
The ones with the very fine prisons.
Yeah, I mean.
Waiting, you won't go commit crime?
No, I beg.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so on a lighter note, you know what month it is? It is the International Women's Month. Happy International Women's Month to every wonderful woman out there.
Yeah.
And what's the theme for this year's?
The theme for this year's International Women's Day is embrace equity. Embrace it.
Embracing equity. Yeah, you need to embrace it because like the society right now.
Yeah.
I know if you start talking about it, they'll be like, oh, feminists and all that. But
that's the issue. But then I feel like for women, I'm not trying to say men are not special. Every human being is special, right?
In your own way.
But it's our day, so let us, bask in it.
Yeah.
Embracing equity has a lot to do with us understanding our differences and treating each other accordingly. So I was listening to this podcast one time where the guest was a dwarf, right? She's a female dwarf, and she's I honestly can't remember her name, but she's a content creator and she's doing amazing things.
Black?
Yeah, she's black. She's a content creator. She's doing amazing things. She's a model. She has featured in certain, I think, reality TV shows. Like, she was talking, and I was really proud because I don't really see a lot of people like her, on the spotlight. And she was talking about how, like, growing up, she had the challenges of doing what every normal person could do.
Yeah.
Because you're building a house, you're not putting into consideration that, maybe a dwarf can come and rent or buy this place. So you have, like, high cabinets, you have, like, high fridges and all that. And she was talking about how, like, growing up, her mom didn't want her to grow up and feel like she couldn't do things. So if she should ask her mom for help, her mom would say things like, okay, I'll put this tool here for you. You reach for it yourself. You do it yourself and things like that. So I feel like equity is more of, like I said, embracing our differences and treating ourselves with that respect. Before, I know, like, a lot of times we talk about equality, gender equality, you know, treat the man and the woman the same.
Yes.
But to be honest, I don't buy that. I don't buy that because I feel like equity is equivalent to fairness. If you are building toilets, for example, and you put just the sink where men can, you know, wee in it, how about the women? How are the women going to, you know, wee in that kind of situation? We can't do taekwondo and hang. But that's basically what equity is speaking to. And I kind of am happy that this conversation is an ongoing one. Would you want to be a man if you could choose your gender?
No, sis.
Why not?
I love me. I love myself. I love who I am. I love myself as a woman. I don't want to be a man. I won't like to be a man. I don't even want to.
So you've never had any experience or like the thought cross your mind one time?
Well, you know how they make it seem like women aren't so safe in the society?
Yeah.
So most times, like when you're being bullied and stuff, you can just think towards that direction and be like, if I was a guy, I would have been able to stand up for myself. But even as a babe, we still stand up for ourselves. But you can't get physical with people.
Yeah.
I don't advise you to get physical with people as a guy, so don't mistake what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love myself as I am. Can't sweat it.
I'm not going to lie. I've been in situations where, you know.
What led to that?
So I'm a very outgoing person.
You are?
Like, okay, I'm comparing it now to my siblings, like my nuclear family, right?
Okay.
Compared to my siblings, I like to go out. Like, and if I say go out, it's not like, you know, I'm going out, you know, getting drunk and stuff. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. If that's your vibe, enjoy.
There's something wrong with
that. Right? So I just like to be out of my house, you know, not like my house is not comfortable or anything, but if I stay at home for too long, I'll just feel the need to step out, right? And for the longest reasons, like my parents, when I started going out, my parents didn't understand where is she going to? Like, what is outside? What's taking you out? Because I have an elder sister, I'm second born, and she, back then when we were in uni, hi Joyce, baby. when she comes back home for holiday, right? She can literally stay at home. We're on holiday for 4 weeks. Joyce is at home for 4 weeks, 24 hours.
I like that. That's
7 days a week. That's not me.
That's so my kind of girl.
It became strange when I started going out.
Yeah.
And my parents are like, I understand. I understand.
Outside.
The thing is, we could talk about that one later. Parents, I feel like parents are selfish. This conversation is going everywhere, but stick with me.
Yes.
I feel like parents are selfish, right? And that's the type of love that they give. Yeah. And sometimes when I go out, it's not like I'm doing unproductive things, right? Sometimes I'm out, like now I'm out here recording a podcast, right? And I don't want to tell you guys what time it is, but whatever time I get home, if I get home late, it'll be like, oh, like, why?
Yeah.
Although I've passed that stage now, to be very honest.
Please,
I have passed that stage now. And it took a lot to pass that stage. Like, I could come back home sometimes, like, past 7. It's like, oh, you don't know who's watching you. You don't know you're a woman. You don't know you're...
Mommy, don't be angry. Don't mind Precious.
But to be honest, in those times, I honestly find myself wishing I was a man. Because if I was a man, the story would be different. Okay. I have seen where my younger, not even elder brother, my younger brother will come back home and it's like, oh, at least you're back home safe. Yeah, welcome home.
Welcome.
But like, if it's me, it's like, what?
Where are you coming from?
Where am I coming from? And I don't get it. So yeah, I feel like that's one example of a time that I have caught myself, wishing I was a guy.
No, mate.
And then the safety that you talked about, thinking twice about, let's say, taking a walk to somewhere when it's like dark, not like
but then
late
the guy
at
you're
night
wishing
and all
to
that.
be, they're the ones that pose the danger,
the threat.
Yeah, so.
I understand, but if I was a guy, I don't know. I just feel like it would be safer for me. Yeah.
Do you think, how guys complain that
I'm not saying guys
hard.
have it easy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying guys have it easy, but right now I'm comparing it to being a woman.
Okay.
I feel like
So do you think there are guys that stay and wish and say, I wish I was a babe, or I wish I was a girl?
I honestly would like to know.
Why would I even ask that question? As I just asked the question and the answer just came into my head, because I started seeing people's faces, Jamie boy, Bobby boy. I started seeing faces. I'm like, okay,
the reason they're doing what they do.
There's no right reason to want to like.
Mama, do you know how much those people are making? Do you know how much those people are making? So I don't know. I don't know if they're LGBTQ or not, but like I feel like they are cross-dressers for the gains that come with it.
Yeah.
That's just why.
Look at it. Even when it comes to content creation, there are guys that dress as babes that are making a lot of money off that. I'm like, I'm a girl. I just like can't do what they're doing, and then it doesn't sell.
I really like James Brown. I feel like his content is beautiful.
Hey, darling.
Like, he's
okay.
He has a way of. He's a good entertainer. That's what I'll say. He's a good entertainer, and I'm happy he's doing what he's doing. Really.
Well, he says it's for the money, so hopefully it's for the money. Hopefully, yeah.
This notion where people say that women put their fellow women down.
Girl, so since it's International Women's Month, you know how, like, talking about women supporting women, what you just said, I know, I've experienced it firsthand.
Tell us about it.
Well, where do I start from?
Anywhere.
I have a couple. Yeah. But I think people also say that, like, women are women's worst enemies.
Yeah, true.
So you see someone post something online, a picture, and then you see comments, all those bad comments like, oh, see your legs, see this one, your big tummy, your fupa, this one down.
Yeah.
They're coming from ladies like you that have those things.
Exactly.
Because when you check the profile, they don't look any better. Yeah, so that's, and then personal experience. I feel like I shared this particular one because the other ones are really personal.
Okay.
The other ones are, I don't think I want to go into that. But in a workplace, there are women that work intentionally, work hard to put other women down. And that's really bad. Yeah. Like, as a woman, you're meant to be the one uplifting, like pushing your fellow lady up. If you see, okay, something going wrong, you just call her out. Not call her out, like approach her and tell her. Talk to her about it. But some people feel the need to do the opposite of that. Yeah. They feel the need to be the devil in that situation. Yeah. Just like the workplace incident for me. Like, this baby's always staring at me and she's like, and I catch her looking, I'm like, auntie, stop looking at me like that. What is it? Because she'll be lost. And I'm like, hi, come back. Earth to whatever her name is. Yeah. And then she'll be like, you're so fine. You're so beautiful. I like your this. I like your that. And I'm like, okay. I could already say that this person is not someone I want to associate with. Yeah. And I try to give her like distance. Yeah. And then when people are talking, they'll be like, your friend. I'm like, guy, even when she's there, I'm like, she's not my friend though. I don't know this person from, like, I met her once outside. We have even that mutual friend too was also like her. Okay. She gets. So that's another thing entirely. Okay, yeah. So that one I'll mention. Let me even
go into it.
Yeah. So I got this social media deal I got one time. Yeah. And I was handling it for the babe. Yeah. It wasn't up to a week. So went together to see the babe and then got back. I gave her my rates. It was for a hair brand. I gave her my rates and she was fine with it. Started everything I worked on her bio, worked on the highlights, did the logo, did all the designs and everything. Yeah. And unfortunately, I was with that girl and I thought I was with someone sensible. Like, that's why they say most times when you have a plan, keep it to yourself. Don't go out sharing it. I agree. So I was like, okay, I was so excited about it because it was big. Like, the money that I was going to be getting from was quite fine. Yeah. So I was excited. I'm like, okay, so this is the plan I have. I want to do this like this. I want to do this like this. Nah. Precious.
You go give person proposal.
I did tell you.
Wow.
So it wasn't even up to 2 days. The other lady,
the
client was meant to pay some money into my account. And then she starts coming up with this, I don't know what is happening to my network. I'm unable to send the money, blah, blah, blah. No. that didn't, I was like, oh, it's cool, it's cool. But where it struck me was when I now saw activities on that page.
Oh, like someone already started working on it.
The page. And then I started seeing activities, and then the activities were playing like they were mine. But even when you steal something, you can't make it like the original.
Exactly. True.
So I was like, who is this person that is trying to do this thing? One person came to mind, and it was that babe. So unfortunately for her, I also introduced her to a certain group.
Yeah.
And that group, what they do is like all the social media pods.
Yeah.
So they help you boost likes on your distinct activities, on your posts and all that.
Yeah.
So I introduced her to that group. She didn't know that I was like an admin
on the group.
Yeah, so they had like the admin group where we're like 4 of us.
Yeah.
And if you want to join the group, if you want to join, like you have to introduce yourself and not on the group to an admin and say, okay, these are the handles that I want to be I want to be posting with. Then they'll approve it. I now found out that the person was using the hashtags. How smart of her. Oh. So I was like, okay. I went to the group, the admin group, and I was like, hey, there's this account that's posting with this. Who is the person that signed up, that registered this account on the group? They now said her number because I introduced her to the group. I mean, I added you to the group.
Wow.
For her own business.
Wow.
And 2 other businesses that she had. And they were like, it was this babe. I called her. I was like, do you see what's going on that page? Like on this babe's page? She was like, She just posted. When I called the babe, she called the form sleep. I laugh. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay. Yes. I was like, okay. Did you see the activities on this? She was like, I don't know. I'm sleeping. I'm like, okay. From there. And the way the thing they do me, I won't start shouting or anything. Dragging, just like the other babe. I told you, I just
cut off. Yeah.
She started calling. I think she reached out to me this year. This was like 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago this happened. And I just, immediately I ended the call. I don't cut her off. Because it was big for me. Yeah. It was big. And then you just go ahead and do that. So women are sometimes women's worst enemies. And I don't know why people feel the need to sabotage or do that kind of thing. I don't know, but yeah, that's my experience. That's one of them, actually. I have a couple, but that's one of them. Yeah. So, for you, have you experienced something like that?
For me, I'll say in the workplace I have. Okay. But I caught on to her early enough before she could sabotage me. Okay. So, I started seeing, although to be fair, if I want to be honest, I was receiving favors from my boss. And my boss was also a woman. Okay. So, I could be really playful, jovial, laughy, and all that. And I make clothes. I'm a fashion designer. Yeah. And, she used to patronize me at the time. Yeah. So there are certain things that I used to get away with, right? And she wouldn't take it as much as if it was someone else that does those things. So I kind of understand there's a little bit of favoritism going on, right? That will push her to want to do that. I try to see the good in people until people don't rip me according to portable, right? So so this particular lady, I noticed that if I was in her shoes and I'm trying to give her like the benefit of the doubt. I understand why she was like that, but I saw it and I was able to control it before she did anything like extra. There's good. That, and then I've had a situation where I don't know if I can call these people my friends anymore because we don't talk anymore. And it was a case of, this person said this person said that. But I'm sitting with this person, like I'm hanging with you. You never bring this up. And it's not as if it's something that is like a hard conversation type of thing. Yeah. And the thing that this person said is not even true. So where did it come from? I thought I'm the peaceful, fun-loving, jovial, playful one. you know.
Yeah.
And after that experience, it made me just, I'm very jovial, but bringing people in now,
you have to be
check
careful.
a lot of things because...
Girl, it's necessary.
Yeah.
It's so necessary.
Yeah.
So I feel like people shouldn't be in competition with other people.
Exactly.
Like if you want to be in competition with anybody, you should be with yourself. You should strive to be better. You should strive to grow. Like, cause I mean, this life, like who doesn't want to enjoy life?
Exactly.
So you want to do better. You want to grow financially, materially, like spiritually. Like, your competition should be with yourself and not others.
True.
I guess one place where people get it wrong, and like, cause you might not be in a competition with someone, but they see you doing stuff, especially in the workplace.
True.
They tend to make it just happen naturally. Because jealousy, I think jealousy is like the major factor.
That drives
and wickedness, because some people actually just wicked and do things like that for no reason.
So you talking about competition.
Yeah.
Recently, I was speaking in my fellowship on healthy competition.
Okay.
And I tagged that fruits of healthy competition. And one of my points was looking at competition as a means to focus on self-betterment.
Okay.
Right? So as opposed you being in a competition and trying to pull someone else down, focus on your own self and do your best. That's basically it. And this is speaking to women. The month of March is, the 8th of March is International Women's Day, granted. But I feel like the whole month is, one where conversation should even go past this month. But, it's heavy in the month of March. And I feel like women should take that seriously. I'm also speaking to myself.
Okay. Because
a lot of times, some women, for some reason, bring competition upon themselves. Unnecessary competition. And while I was talking, there was this lady that shared this experience that, she had this coworker, you're earning the same salary, and then this lady just pulls up one Monday with one mad wig.
Oh.
And you're like, okay, it's nice. But it's not from the heart. It's more of, how was she able to afford this? And then this feeling of jealousy. Exactly.
So she must be doing some kind of things.
Who ask you, save your one naira and buy your own wig tickets? It's just, I just feel like women should focus on themselves. Yes, that we are disadvantaged to an extent, comparing ourselves now to men. But that doesn't mean that we cannot do exploits. I mean, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is mood. What? These are women that you'd look at and you'd be like, I'm so proud to be a woman. This is something that I know that I can do.
You can use that to set goals.
Exactly. And then I feel like more women, although yes, there are women that do it, but more women should also be open to, mentorship. And more women should also be open to being honest with the younger generation. So I was listening to this podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts, by the way. On one episode, I will share a list of podcasts that I listened to. Yes, he didn't ask me, but I'll share still. So I was listening to this podcast, and this woman, she was talking about how her mom didn't prepare her for marriage. Like, she thought that marriage is just going to be me just living with my boyfriend for life.
Oh my goodness.
But then, she got in and then she experienced certain things and she's like, why don't our mothers talk about these things? Because there's this reservation. Oh no, just anyhow your own is, just take it like that. I feel like these are conversations that, women should feel open having with, especially the younger ones. Yeah.
Yes. Talking about, great women.
Yeah.
Did you notice that this period during the elections, a lot of women come. Yes,
Ireti Kingebe, FCT. What? I was so proud.
Yes,
I was so proud.
We need that.
Yeah,
we need that.
Yeah,
it was so nice to see, and because of the wave of the new, the party without structure.
Yeah, that is the most structured, apparently.
Yeah. So because of that wave, a lot of them actually want these things.
Yes.
Because people weren't even looking at, so just like, okay, this is what I want to do. But anyone, they'll just tag it. Once they just see, they'll stamp, put the thumbprint and stuff. And because of that, we have a couple of them now.
And I have a feeling that since this has started, because we had a high level of Nigerians vote for the first time this year.
Yes.
I feel like it's something that is going to be consistent moving forward.
Yeah.
It's going to be consistent, and it is so beautiful to see.
It's There's
beautiful. No better time to be a Nigerian than
honestly, because you know that the way it went this time, you be hopeful because next elections, you know it's going to be better.
True.
We actually needed this.
True.
The youth needed to stand up, and I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did. I'm so proud to be part of this generation.
The coconut head generation.
Like making this tremendous change, because it's impacting not just this nation but the world.
Exactly.
To be honest, it's impacting not just this nation, and I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. I'm here for it.
So, we are introducing something new to our podcast. You want to tell us something about that?
Yeah. So we have something new to introduce. It's called Sense or Nonsense. So basically what we're going to do is read out a couple of tweets and decide if it's sense, if it makes sense.
Give our opinions on them.
Give our opinions. And yes. So let's
go into it. Sense or nonsense?
No, okay, so this is from a thread. The question is, what's the best relationship advice you've ever received?
Okay.
So the first one, she says, don't tell your new partner the bad stuff your ex did to you. Do you think a sense or?
I think that's sense.
Yeah, I think that's sense too. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Why do you think it makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense because I believe in letting people be themselves.
Okay.
You know how you meet someone who is making butterflies, to be in your tummy, and he's talking about how, okay, so what do you like in a man? I don't say nothing. If I tell you, you will act accordingly, and you will confuse my decision-making skills. So I believe in letting people be themselves. So if I tell you, oh, this is what my ex did, this is what my ex did, and you in fact have those traits in your blood, you would do everything possible to hide that from me until, let's say, it gets to a point where the relationship leads to marriage. And when we're married,
you now see how toxic the person is,
hey!
Because they literally start bringing up those things and saying, "Oh, that's why your ex did this to you, or that's why this is like that." They start using it against the person, basically. And yes, I think that's major sense.
Okay.
So the next one said, "It's you and your partner versus the problem, not you versus your partner."
And the problem?
No, you and your partner versus the problem. Not you against your partner.
Oh, okay, yes. I think that's sense. That's big sense.
I'm as I said, I'm huge on communication. I did talk as a demi for mine. So whatever it is, I feel like if we have an issue, rather than just sweeping it under the rug, let's talk about it.
Yeah, and making your partner look like, oh, you're the enemy. You want to. Yeah. Let's isolate that to just the problem and talk things through. So yes, that's big sense.
That's big sense. So talking about that, some people tend to play the victim when it comes to issues. Like you have issues with your partner. That's one thing that I've noticed.
Yeah.
When you have an issue with your partner, rather than when you start talking about it, let me say, for instance, now you do something to me and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I come up to you and say, Precious, okay, so this way you acted this day, I didn't really appreciate it. I would like you to act differently.
Yeah.
Rather than say, I'm sorry, and okay, I'm sorry you feel that, or you felt that way, and I'll do differently. They'll now say, and that even the other time, there was one time where you did this, but I ignored you.
I see where you're going. I hate
that thing. If you have an issue, tell me first and don't wait till I bring something up and then you now start saying, oh, 2 years ago, I turned something upside down and it affected you some way. Don't wait for that. Tell me.
True.
It's so annoying because it's hurtful. It's like, okay, you're not trying to make peace.
You're disregarding what I feel to get back at me for bringing up.
Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So the next one says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
To me, that's nonsense.
Why?
That's nonsense. What is it to you?
So it depends.
It doesn't depend. This is sense or nonsense. Okay. You have to go with one.
See, I know.
I know
what I know. I'm gonna say sense. I'm gonna say sense, but it's not in every case, my dear. Calm down. It's not in every case. Truly, like I feel like some people don't deserve second chances.
True.
Because they'll literally bash your head against the wall again.
Yeah.
Literally. So that's why I say it makes sense. But why do you think it doesn't make sense?
I feel like it's nonsense because people change, right? You have the criminal who was on the cross with Jesus Christ. He had done a lot of things, bruv. I don't know if he killed. I don't know how many people's millions or whatever he stole. But at that point, he honestly confessed.
Yes.
Right? So I feel like it now depends on the other party to have discernment, to know when, this ripping don't do. You rip me once, you rip me twice. But that's what you don't do.
Now,
yeah.
When you put it that way,
yeah.
Like how many times you won't take, like swallow before you decide?
7 times 7. Okay, I don't know. I honestly can't state a number.
So there are some things. Okay, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
there are some things that would happen, and you just be like, okay, I wouldn't want this to repeat itself. Surely, there are some people that are unapologetic. Like you can literally just see when they are trying to, when they say they are sorry, you can tell that they don't mean it.
No remorse.
You can tell that they're just saying it. So in such cases, it makes sense to dump the person.
Okay.
So next one is to not take relationship advice from anyone who isn't in a relationship or marriage.
No, like to not take a relationship from anyone.
Do not take relationship advice from anyone who isn't in a relationship or marriage. I think it's nonsense. It makes sense, but I think it's nonsense.
I feel now I'm conflicted because the way I see it is that you shouldn't even take advice at all from anybody.
Relationship advice
from anybody. Now I said I'm sitting on the fence with this one because yes, for me, my relationship, I don't like to take my business outside.
True.
Right? So there's that. But then there's the case of, okay, we need to go to maybe therapy.
My sister,
or we both have like the same, would I say mentor now? Or something like someone who is more experienced and on a neutral ground that we could talk to when we have certain issues that obviously we've tried to talk over, but it's not,
Again, I say communication. If I communicate to you and you don't, I don't know.
But then I feel like this particular tweet is giving, when you get married, get rid of your your unmarried friends.
That's why I said
that's giving nonsense. That's big nonsense if that's the case. Yeah.
Because immediately that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So it says, I don't take relationship advice often, but hearing you gotta wake up and choose your partner every day hits a little different. It's helped with all types of relationships in my life.
Okay. That's an experience.
So choose your partner every day.
So I feel like I've heard that a lot. I've heard that a lot. You know how every single day, let me give this example. Okay, we go out every day. We meet people.
Yeah.
We're ladies. We get approached by, some good looking, And in those times where you are tempted to, this my boyfriend said, he even did this rubbish 2 hours ago or like last night or like this.
Yeah.
You have to remember that, okay, you made the decision to be in this relationship. We literally spoke about this in our second episode where we talked about love being a decision or a feeling.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to that, go check it out.
Go check it out.
So we spoke about it there, and I feel like that's what this is speaking to.
Okay.
Choosing your partner every day. So no matter what happens, there'll be good times, there'll definitely be bad times. So in those bad times, choose your partner. in the great times, choose your partner.
Sense.
So yeah, big sense.
Okay. So, this one says, be honest with your partner. Once you start hiding things, it becomes more and more difficult.
Oh my God. Sensima. Sensima.
True.
Yeah, this is big
you know how they
sense.
say when you tell a lie,
Yeah,
you can't take it back.
that's true.
You have to tell another lie to protect that lie, and
And that's how it keeps
building up.
compounding. I agree.
So I think
totally
this,
agree.
This makes sense. There's no need to explain. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So he said we are here to experience people, not own or possess them.
Okay, so let me share something about
you own your
myself.
partner?
I recently found out that I have a certain attachment style where I hardly let people in, but once you're in, you're caged.
Yeah,
I'm not letting you go. You're gonna stay there. Like I could be treating you like shit. I don't treat people like shit, by the way. No, this is just like trying to state like an example of like my attachment style. I could, nobody's perfect, right? And my bad side for you could be louder than the good. But you want to go? I'm going to try and give you reasons why you shouldn't. You could be treating me like shit. Your bad side might be higher than your good. And we're obviously not, compatible, good for each other. But you are here already. We're going to stay here together.
For someone like
you're not going anywhere.
Intense lover.
Yeah.
Bruv. Same but just take out the toxic part. There's a toxic
excuse
part
me,
there.
are you trying to say, I'm not going to lie.
I'm not saying you're toxic.
God.
Your attachment style is
if not that
bad.
therapy is cost, I feel like I need it.
Talk to me.
Ogbeni,
Welcome to... See...
Well, in front of the camera, therapy is not supposed to be a public thing.
It's not. Okay, I'll cut that part out. I'll cut it out. Talk to me.
That's fine.
It's fine. Okay. If you say so. I'm trying to help though. So it says the flags you ignore in the beginning will be the reason you break up in the end.
Hey, good. Now, wow.
So
now, wow.
True. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
I think it
with
makes
that.
sense because
I'm gonna have to agree with
I've
that.
seen cases like that.
And this goes back to the point where we talked about people changing. Like, I feel like if you see these red flags and you stay, you try to work things out and it doesn't work, take a walk.
Because
you see what I did there?
That's why it's gonna. You're always doing something that you're good at it. So truly, that's why I think it still pops up at the end.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it pops up at the end. I think I have a personal experience, but that's not for the camera.
Okay.
So it's still the same thing. The next one says, let them do what they want to do so you can see what they'd rather be doing.
I literally said something relating to this earlier.
Sense or nonsense?
But that's big sense. That's big sense.
Yes.
Allow people be themselves. Allow people be themselves.
Because even if you make them act a certain way to please you,
yeah.
no, that's again,
it won't
we talk
last,
about
to be honest.
People pleasers.
Yeah.
So if you make them act a certain way, just because they want to prove a point to you, at some point they'll get tired.
True.
I mean, one thing I say is, don't start where you can't finish. If
True.
It's me, I know will come your they sweep compound because they I want you to wife.
You're prepping for marriage.
Jeez, do you get that kind of thing? I won't do that. So don't start where you can't finish.
Yeah.
Like, just be yourself. The person that will accept you.
True. I agree.
Yeah. Anything to add?
I think that's enough for this episode.
So the last one, the final one, it says, keep folks out of your business. Big sense. So that one is major. Like, just because most times you think you're talking to someone that has like good intentions for you. For people that take people's advice, so when it comes to relationship, if it's me, me and my person, as in,
and you know the thing with taking advice, it can be very tricky because we're all different human beings, right? And we're all made up of different experiences. So the advice I would give you is based off of what I have experienced, first-hand information of things that I've seen happen around me. And it most likely might not address your situation. But then you'd be like, and the worst is when, let's say, like a person talks to different people and then all of them are leaning towards the same thing, which is wrong in your case.
Yeah.
That's messed up. So please, you're in a relationship with your partner. Keep it that way.
Not with other people. So that being said.
Yeah.
That's all for today, guys.
Thank you so much for rocking with us.
Thank
you so much for rocking with us. It's just episode 5, but you know, every time like I see a comment from people, especially people that, you know, we don't know personally.
Yes.
It makes me feel, wow, we're really doing this.
We're
doing this. And I'm so, so happy. And
thanks for the support.
Thankful.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares. The ones that share to their stories. Those are the big, real MVPs. What? Please, at this point, I was talking to a friend of mine gave me a review. Big Z, I see you. But I just have to say this, right? You will come, you will watch this video. You will laugh. You will enjoy it. Why are you not subscribing? Well, it's just one click. I promise you. It's just one click.
Subscribe.
So please, if you're listening to this, you've gotten to this point.
Yes.
Just click on the subscribe button. It's not going to take it's not even going to take up to 1 MB. Just do it. Thank you.
Until next time, be good.
See you next time. This is episode 5, signing out.
Bye.